Hey guys, welcome back to the 12th episode of 7 Levels with Lionheart. I'm your host, Lion. I'm really happy you guys are watching this video, and thank you so much for everyone who got to check out the last video. The last episode we did with Zudan was actually so incredible, very insightful. If you guys have ever had any questions or wonderings about mental health issues, I mean, Zudan was very awesome and open about their schizophrenia, and which is not often something that you get to hear. So very insightful and an awesome conversation with Zudan. Please go check it out. There'll be like a little button for it, like right up here, that you guys can click on and get a hold of that. But today I'm very excited. We have our second ever Vtuber that we get to interview. They are friends with the last Vtuber we interviewed. If you guys got to check our first Vtuber interview out with Minimal Art, this is a really another cool rigged setup, I believe is the word. The rigging is awesome. Everything looks really awesome, and I can't wait for you all to see their art. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you all to FlareonLad. FlareonLad, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Hello. Ooh, welcome everyone. How's everyone doing? This is FlareonLad of the EV Duo. How you guys doing? What's going on? How you doing, Lionheart? What's going on?
I'm doing great. I'm so happy you're here, man. You look awesome. You look cool. I love your room. Can you tell me a little bit about your room?
Yeah, of course. So this room was designed by TNN Arts. This is a particular special 3D room designed to show off a bunch of our different loves when it comes to video games. Over here on the left, we have stuff from Genshin Impact, Pokemon, Okami, Overwatch, Pot of Greed, even from Yu-Gi-Oh! We got Kingdom Hearts, and behind me we have some Legend of Zelda stuff. On the right, we have a blanket. We have some Monster Hunter going on. And it's currently actually still a work in progress, honestly, because our mom, which I will get to in a second, actually has not completed the family portrait, but that will be going on right there, on that way.
That'd be awesome. Oh, and
Yeah.
how about all these cats? What are their names?
Oh yeah, they're actually all based on our real cats. Actually, we have 5 cats. So we have the orange one over there, that's Scuzzy. The black one on the shelf is Ahmed.
Oh.
Then we have Tartar right behind me. And then we have Cake over here with a rather surprised-looking face. And then the one sleeping on the couch is Lewis. They came with the fiance, which we will get into later, I suppose.
Well, they look awesome and comfortable. So, I mean, great view. And
Thank
man,
you.
yeah, like you look awesome. I mean, I have very little experience about VTubing. I've just actually once we confirmed that we were gonna get to do an interview, I actually did some deep diving to figure out like the kind of like the history of like where it's coming from and where like I didn't know it was actually such a like big cultural phenomenon like over and like there's like a whole bunch of controversies around it too, like getting banned like over over in like Asia, and like the different parts of Asia have different laws around it and everything like that. It's like, God,
Absolutely, it's more of an idol thing over there also.
right.
It became a lot more popular, and the growth is just insane over the past couple of years. Actually, it's not even that long ago. Actually, I thought it was a lot longer because it feels like a lot longer, but actually, it's only been like I think like 2 or 3 years since it's like exploded in popularity.
Yeah. And you're seeing more and more of our, I guess, friend circle, I would say, that are, really probably like webcam shy, even like going to like the minimal package of like, like what do they call it? Like just like when it's just like a still shot that like lights up when they talk. Is that
Oh, a PNG tuber?
yeah, that's the
Mhm.
one. And which is like fine. I think everyone should stream in the way they're comfortable. So I think it's pretty awesome at how accessible and flexible the programming is. I think it's pretty awesome. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Flareon Lad, go ahead and take a second to tell people what kind of content they might be checking out if they came to your stream. And also, this is the first time where the person we're interviewing actually has a different Twitch tag. So make sure to tell people what your Twitch tag is. I'll post it down in the bottom so they can click on it. But yeah,
Oh
go
yeah,
ahead.
absolutely, yeah. So, for those who did not hear my introduction before, my name is FlareonLad. I am one half of the EV Duo. I co-stream with my partner Umbreon Girl, or Tiny Umbreon Girl as we used to call her, and we stream a variety of games. I usually stream a variety of Nintendo games when it comes to Splatoon, Mario Kart, Super Smash Brothers, Pokemon, Animal Crossing, whereas she will then touch on more PlayStation games, and she'll actually even go into a little more of the horror depth with Phasmophobia, Dead by Daylight. She'll also touch on Genshin, Overwatch, all those bunches, like that kind of stuff. So we have the best of both worlds. I stream on Tuesdays and on Wednesdays and Fridays, and she streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Wow, that's so cool. What is what has co-streaming been like? Like how we don't, there's not a whole lot of that happens. I'm sure there is plenty of it, but you don't come across it too often. I'd say you're probably one of two co-streamers that I know.
Well, the story behind it, actually, there's a whole history behind it, actually. So originally the channel was actually called Tiny Umbreon Girl. That's what it was called. I had pushed her, well, I don't want to say pushed, I nudged her into wanting to do some streaming because she would always talk while playing games, and I thought she was very entertaining. I said, you would do amazing like this. So we started doing some streaming, and we dedicated one day to me, and we called it FlareonLad Friday. So this is where my name came from, because it was Tiny Umbreon Girl and FlareonLad. And then eventually I started doing shiny dens. I started realizing, I discovered Vitamin Action, who is someone else who you had also interviewed previously.
Great guy.
And I had learned how to do shiny dens, and the channel grew like exponentially. Like we jumped over 1,000 followers and stuff like that. And at that point, there was at one point when we were thinking about splitting, the channel. So I'd have my own channel and she'd have her own channel. But we thought that would split the audience, and honestly wouldn't help so much. So we decided to merge it together, as we had been doing already. And instead, we changed the name from Tiny Umbreon Girl to the EV Duo.
Wow.
And so sometimes we'll stream together. Usually it's like Pokemon card openings and art and stuff like that. Or what I'll do art. But sometimes there's some games. But yeah, the majority of the time it is us taking turns. And then we'll sometimes pop up on each other's streams and stuff like that, because people know that we have that co-host, that co-streamer.
So you actually you guys have the capability to have both of you on the screen at the same time? That's actually a thing?
Sort of. We're getting an upgraded computer where we actually had both of us on the screen, but it crashed the stream like 3 times during our debut. So we decided to just have one of us as a PNG and the other one to not be whenever we do that. We did a Pokemon card battle opening, largest one yet, where every card you open, like inspired by A Drive's card battles. We had her PNG because her model's a little heavier on data wise, and I was there as well, and we would just open up packs on stream where we would. So that was a lot of fun. But yeah, once we get upgraded computer, which should be probably within the next month, we'll be able to do a lot more co streams, I guess you could say.
Well, I am just so amused by the whole process. Like, what are like, just like, what's like some like hard things you had to learn to make this happen, or like, or I don't know, what's like a fun fact about it that you're just like that was like a new thing to you?
Well, there's a lot to learn with this. Like, for example, moving. I can't move my arms. I don't currently. Although apparently there's going to be an upgrade that's going to have arm movement, but right now I cannot move my arms. Also, moving myself around, I actually learned how to do different kind of positions, like close-ups and just moving myself around using different hotkeys and stuff like that. But it's a new experience, honestly, learning all that kind of stuff, and also knowing how to like, if you do different expressions and stuff like that. Like, let's say I get upset or something like that, I gotta learn to press a button for it, like otherwise I'm just gonna be upset and I'm gonna be looking happy. Like,
Right.
so it's a little it's different, but I love it. I absolutely love it.
You're like a puppet master. You're like a modern day puppeteer. of your VTuber.
In a sense, yeah. I mean, I like to think of it as actually me, like this
Oh,
is how people see who I am now, you know. So it's not just a puppet that I. Although I gotta tell you, I think that exact thought process is what kind of freaked out one of our regulars. They apparently had to go see a therapist about. I just can't get over that. They had to go see a therapist because they were so used to seeing our regular faces, and then moving on to this, it just freaked them out too much. So
really? Oh,
I guess it's the
interesting.
same idea as like a living doll or a moving puppet. It might have freaked them out in that sense,
Huh.
but mhm.
Well, I do have some questions geared that way for later on. So maybe we'll save some. Maybe we'll get back around to that. But what we are here to do today is 7 levels, and I know you're kind of familiar with the thing, but I'm going to take a second to explain what we're doing here,
Yeah.
and also to announce that we are coming to a close of our season. We are going to get 15 episodes in on season 1, and I just want to say, like, I'm so grateful for everyone that came through and did it, and now I'm even I'm very happy that you are here today, and we got some more people lined up to do it, and that are also in our community that everyone should know. And then we're gonna take a little break and try to do our best to set up for season 2, which I don't know how long the break will be, but we're gonna make it to 15 episodes, and then we'll take our break. But 7 levels is something that I created to help streamers have like a platform, have a time to talk about some things that they often don't get to talk about on stream, because the nature of stream is like bam, 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 next thing, next thing, next thing. Whether you're playing Mario Party or Mario Kart or Dead by Daylight or whatever, you don't have a whole lot of time to really unpack and discuss things at length. And also the nature of stream, you got people coming in and out. They're going to catch either the first part of the conversation or the last part of the conversation. Regardless, it's just not the best opportunity to talk about something for a long extended time. So I had this idea that what if I created an interview system that starts off really with easy questions and warms people up to where they get to talk about some really deep stuff at the end. So we go anywhere from talking about fast food to philosophy all in one setting, and it's great, and it's a good fun time, and I can't wait to get started with this one. FlareonLad, are you ready for 7 levels?
I'm ready.
Okay, FlareonLad, level 1. Your first question is, what is your favorite snack food?
Oh, everybody who watches my stream knows this. It is Starburst jelly beans.
Starburst jelly beans. Okay.
So specifically Starburst jelly beans. For you might not know, or maybe you were following along, but I went into a whole fit phase, and I'm still kind of trying to get back into it. But with Vitamin Action,
Yeah, I've seen you
and
guys do the ring fit on his stream. I was watching on his stream, and that's actually
yeah,
the first
I
time I think I was aware of your like interactions in communities and stuff like that, if I remember. But anyways, keep going.
yeah. So basically, last January, I weighed about 250 pounds, and I dropped down to about 205.
Nice job.
And thank you. And so, the entire week you have to eat, certain proteins, and you got to eat certain veggies and fruits like that. And so there was always a I guess a one meal a week that you can get, and you can break those rules for
The
that
cheat
one
meal.
meal.
Yep.
And I would always choose Starburst jelly beans. It was the best. It, like a full 1 pound bag of just Starburst jelly beans.
Oh, dang.
and and I loved it. And I would just order, like, you'd get on Amazon like these like 5 pound bags, and I would just like split them up 5 weeks, of just having a jelly beans. It was so good
And that's
though.
the whole meal is just a thing of jelly beans for your
Well,
cheat
I mean,
meal?
I've been questions. I've been like, that's not really considered a meal, but like to me, it's a pound of jelly beans
Yeah,
is a meal.
that's a big that's a whole lot of jelly beans for sure. Well,
Yeah.
which one's the best? What flavor?
Honestly, I don't know. I'm not really picky.
Mm,
I just love them all.
good. Cool. Do you remember like when you found out that was your favorite? Like do you remember your first interaction with Starburst jelly beans?
It was Easter.
That makes sense. That
Yeah,
makes sense.
that's when they come out. It's Easter time, which like I mean I had to order when they don't order them on Amazon. that's when you find them in stores. And it was Easter, and I think I had a friend who was like, "Oh, these are the best." I'm like, "Yeah, I guess so." I mean, I really love what are they called? Not Star. Oh man, what am I? I'm blanking. What's my other favorite candy? Thank you. Sorry, I'm blanking. Sour Patch Kids. Thank you.
Oh yeah, those are good too.
Goodness,
Yeah.
Umbry just looking at me like, how could you forget?
How do you not know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sometimes when I'm like super focused, I forget small things.
yeah.
So yeah, so Sour Patch Kids was my favorite, and it still is my favorite. But I guess like it also the sourness kind of starts to like numb the tongue eventually. So when it comes to my favorite snack, it has to be the jelly beans.
Nice, nice. So,
Yeah.
man, you've lost about 45 pounds. What was the I guess what was the point at which you were like, I need to lose this weight? What was do you like what was
I
that feeling like?
am uh so I'm going on about 9 or 10 years now. I'm a cosplayer, and going back like like I'm 29 right now. So going back like 10 years, when I was 19 and my metabolism was a lot faster and stuff like that. It like, my cosplays, I felt like they looked really nice on me, and then as I started gaining weight, I started seeing that in the cosplays that I was doing, and I wasn't happy with how I looked. I mean, it's nothing wrong with, heavier set cosplayers at all, I mean, you do what you enjoy, and I think that's beautiful. But when it came to myself, me personally, I felt disappointed in myself. And so I really wanted to work on the weight loss. And so luckily, Vitamin, who is a fitness trainer in real life, I hit him up and asked for some help in exchange to edit some of his videos. And so for a while, that's what happened. I would edit his videos, and he would help me out with losing some weight. So we it honestly was a really amazing feeling. This holiday's been the toughest though,
Oh yeah,
honestly.
no kidding.
I've kind of slipped a little bit, but I'm planning on getting right back into it.
Yeah.
So
I Vitamin Action is a really great guy. He's actually helping me out a little bit too. Nothing like serious like I don't rely on him because I grew up as an athlete, so I always felt like pretty good. I've actually probably, if we're getting serious about it, I probably already always had a little bit of body dysmorphia. Like it's hard not to. And but recently I've been like my heaviest, and I finally been like, oh, this sucks. Like I got to get out. So I was 225, and I started keto like 3 or 4 weeks ago. So I haven't had like a carb in like 4 weeks. And it's been really weird. I don't know. But what I really want to ask you about though is like when this idea about body image and stuff like that surrounding. I think most people would assume the persona behind a VTuber is someone who is like, I would say like this is a what do you call it whenever it's like the stereotype that people assume behind VTubers is like it's someone who doesn't want to present themselves, like they are ashamed, so they hide behind this created thing. So I think it's really interesting that you actually are working very hard to be fit, so like you are going to appreciate your in real life body and your virtual
yeah, absolutely.
presence.
And honestly, like I gotta tell you, there's a lot of people who on social media, at least Twitter, anyways, they post what they really look like, and there are a lot of like really beautiful people behind the VTubers. I don't think it honestly. I feel like that's a complete stereotype of like there are certain people out there. I don't know if you ever heard of the VTuber Iron Mouse.
Yep.
Not saying that not saying that they're ugly. I heard that they're actually really cute, but what I'm saying is that they have medical conditions, and so to them, this is a way to present themselves not looking like they're in that they have those medical conditions. Um, so like I think like in this sense, what's really cool about VTubers is that it's not really a oh, I want to look better than I look. It's more of a this is how I want to represent myself kind of deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen people who, people who see themselves or they identify themselves as, females who are, born male, and so they go with the female avatars, or, vice versa. And I think it's honestly really beautiful, honestly, what you can, I guess, what you can be who you want to be in a sense.
Yeah. It's like what we were saying earlier. The flexibility of it all is pretty impressive.
Exactly.
Yeah. But that was level 1. Good job.
Woo!
Not too bad, right?
No, not bad at all. No.
Okay. Level 2, Flareon Lad. Which of the 4 seasons is your favorite?
Summer.
Summer?
Actually, I say summer because I was born in the summer, but honestly, it's fall.
Fall?
I all my life I've said like, oh, summer, because I'm a summer baby. But honestly, fall is the most comfortable. It's not too hot, not too cold. Um, I don't like it overly barreling heat. I know that I'm the fire guy, but honestly, I don't like melting. But I also like to be able to feel my hands. I don't like freezing either. So I think fall is kind of like that nice middle ground.
Yeah, for sure. And I know you're East Coast. I'm Central. I'm actually in Oklahoma. I'm open with that. Where I am, and gosh, it was 70 degrees on Friday, and then it was 19 degrees on Saturday. It was like insane. There was no middle. I mean,
Yeah.
70 is pretty comfortable outside, but then like straight down to 19. Man, Oklahoma is so weird like that. But so what would you say? Uh, well, actually, I like the way you put it, because I think we are the same way about this. I value the seasons in their range of comfort. Like you said, summer. I run hot naturally, so anytime the weather is hot, I'm just sweating and I hate it. I literally just hate it.
Well, where I'm from New York actually. So here it's like cold most of the time unless it's like the actual absolute summer, then it gets like pretty bad. Then you have Umbri who was born in California, moved to Florida, and now living in New York. So it's hot, hot, cold.
Right.
And yeah, it was just really funny because I remember visiting her before we were living together, and I remember it was like, I think it was like 50 or 60 degrees there, and to me that's like t-shirt weather, as opposed to like, you know. And to her it was like cold, and I thought it
Yeah.
was the most hysterical thing, and I was just like like I'm out there without like a jacket on, and they're all with jackets. I
Body
don't know, I just thought it
conditioning
was
is
funny.
really weird how that works, like what you just get used to and whatnot. But so
Exactly, yeah.
so when did y'all move in together?
You want to say almost 4 years ago, I think.
Wow.
See, it's always 3 or 4 years ago. I don't remember exactly.
How long have y'all known each other?
Um, let's see. So we've been dating for almost 6 years, so almost 8 years.
Wow. That's awesome. Congrats to you
Yeah,
two. That's great.
thank
Um,
you.
from the outside looking in, it seems like you guys have a really, really happy, awesome relationship. It's good to see. It's good because I think our young Twitch viewers need good, healthy relationship models, and they don't always get those. So, I mean, no pressure, but you got people watching y'all. So, but
Oh, okay. Oh, no pressure. Yeah, no, we just built a channel around you too, like.
um, it gives I think it gives our younger people a lot of good stuff to look for. I think when you and I were growing up, I'm 30 by the way, so we're just like right in the same ballpark.
Oh, there you go. You're only a year older,
Yeah,
so.
there was a lot of shame around like online relationship and also girls gaming. So there was like no way like me as a middle schooler or you as a middle schooler was like gonna like legitimately have an open like online relationship with a gamer girl, right? Like that just like would not have happened back in like, whenever we were in middle school, like 2000 or whatever that was. Gosh, we're like old as crap. But um so I think having
Well,
a
no, middle school actually wasn't that long ago actually. For me, middle school was 2005.
2005.
I
Okay, I couldn't remember which one it would have been for us, but yeah, it's
Yeah, so it's
um.
not it's not it's not it's not it's not we're not that
I mean,
old.
that's 17 years though, if you think about it.
Yeah, yeah, but not that. I mean, yeah, yeah. For me, where I went, my middle school and high school were combined together, so I never even thought about it. It just went from uh elementary was kindergarten to six, and then it was 7 through 12 in one building.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean
Yeah,
now all
and same
that's.
for Umbry.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mine here in the Midwest, it's like sixth, seventh, eighth, and then ninth by itself, and then 10, 11, 12. But
it's not just you actually. No, there are schools here that do that. It's just my particular school was just that way.
oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, all that being said, I really appreciate the image that you guys are giving your younger audience to give them enough like hope for like this is something you could pursue. Like you don't have to settle with a relationship that doesn't fit you well. Like if you like, if you want to build a relationship around streaming and video game and like it's in video games, it's possible, it's doable.
Exactly.
I think
I
that go ahead.
Yeah. Oh no, I was gonna say that I thought it was kind of funny actually, and people in my chat or people in my community already know this, at least the ones who are regular. But I've dated several people in my day. I guess I could say my day, right? Um, and all of them were from like a dating website or something like that. And then Umbry was the one person who was not from a dating website. We literally met off a video game. So it's just kind of funny and ironic how, like, in the end, the person I ended up with isn't exactly somebody who, uh, was me looking for someone. It just kind of just happened.
Yeah. Yeah. Which game were y'all playing?
Warframe. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
Yeah, yeah. I remember Warframe. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
um, that's awesome. Uh, that is level 2. Congratulations, you're cruising right through this. How you feeling? Doing all right?
Feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm leveling up.
Yep. Here we are, level 3. Flareon Lad. Is there an animal in the world that you would not touch?
Hmm. Are we talking about bugs as animals too,
Yeah, sure.
or
Sure.
scorpion?
Scorpion? Like I've seen a lot of people actually handle scorpions, but you wouldn't risk it.
My RNG in life is not great. Knowing me, there'll be the one time I get chosen for something to happen to me, and it would be a scorpion.
I I honestly I just avoid insects as a whole. I think they're strange
Yeah.
and unpredictable, and they don't make
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, I'm not a super huge fan of insects. I also am strange because I won't kill them either. Like if I see an insect, I'll try to throw it outside the apartment or whatever like that. Although I will say that no, not many insects do survive in here, and it's not because of me. It's because we have 5 sentinels.
All right. The cats basically take care of all that for you.
they
Yeah.
they basically see it as a plaything, and then they start smacking it around. And I'm like, oh no.
Thing's dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I get grossed out also by like octopus, by octopi. Uh,
I actually have a story about octopus.
do you really? Tell me.
I do. So it actually has to do with eating it actually.
Oh no, no, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is, I don't know. Let's just assume I was like 10 or 11. I don't even remember how old I was. I was at this I used to go to these basketball games with my family, and I'm not really a big sports fan, but basketball was kind of like that exception. And they would take us randomly to like a game or a live game or whatever. So um So I remember eating at this restaurant or whatever like that right beforehand, and they took out this food, and they said like, oh yeah, here, have it. And it was like this like breaded food. I didn't even know what it was. Like could have been chicken for all I knew, So I start eating a little bit. I'm like, oh, this is good. And then all of a sudden, like, I keep asking my dad at the time, and I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like, what is this? And he's like, don't worry about it,
Oh
like, don't worry
gosh.
about it. And I'm like, what? And then they take out this fully breaded like mini octopus, like not even like because they were all like tentacles or whatever that they was served, and there was just one that was just completely like intact.
Oh
And I just
no.
remember seeing it, and you know it wasn't that it tasted bad. I just remember getting up and running to the bathroom and just like spitting it out. I'm like, no, 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 no.
Oh gosh, I can't even imagine. Have you seen the videos of like when there's I guess there's a certain octopus or squid that you can, if it's fresh enough, you can pour soy sauce on it and it'll still move
Oh, the
around.
dancing, yeah, the dancing octopus. Yeah, 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 yeah. I've
Uh
seen it.
nope. Whole lot of nope.
Nope.
Whole lot of nope.
Hold on.
Well, very
uh,
good. That is level 3. Well done. So, as I've told you, and I tell everyone every once you get to level 4, questions get a little bit harder. We're going to talk about them a little bit more. I'm going to
I'm like the
follow up
weakest Flareon ever. I'm only level 4. I can't believe
level 4 player, and you don't even have a fire move yet. Like, what are you going to
it.
do?
Yeah,
But
right. I have like stand attack. That's it.
so, level 4. If you could meet anyone, dead or alive, who would it be, and what would you do?
Okay, I'm gonna get a little. Well, I don't know if it's really dark here, but I think that um, it's gonna get a little personal.
Okay.
For okay, so you said that if I can meet anyone dead or alive, um, at the beginning of COVID, um, obviously a lot of people weren't prepared for things. They didn't have boosters, they didn't know to wear masks just yet. They just like, it was just kind of a thing in the news. I learned not long after it started. I believe it started in March 13th, I think was actually the thing, because it was actually Friday the 13th when things started happening. And I learned not long after that one of my close friends had caught it, and they weren't the lightest of people. Like, they were more a heavy set person, and I've known this friend for about uh, almost 16 years, and they ended up in the hospital, and they fought, and unfortunately they passed away of, I think it was October of 2020.
Mm. Sorry to hear
Was it?
that.
Okay, well, it might have been July. So I think they were fighting in the hospital for several months. So it was either July or one. Yeah, it was one of those. So um, they were going to get married later that year and stuff like that. Also in September. That's right. That it was July because they were going to get married in September, and it was very very heartbreaking. They were one of my closest friends, and so if I could meet somebody who had passed, I would love to have at least one more day with them, honestly. Just something to like a proper last day,
Yeah. What was his name?
honestly. His name was Chris.
Chris. What would you and Chris do for a day if you knew it was the last day with Chris? 24 hours. What would you do?
Uh, Honestly, I would love to do. It's kind of silly, but I would love to do the things that we used to do. Basically, we would play like Destiny together, or we played RuneScape together, or we would go to the movies, or maybe just like ride our bicycles together. Go on some car rides, maybe go to a concert. Like, one of my fondest memories is honestly this Linkin Park concert before Chester passed away, and just him and I and his fiance, just just singing along to it, and it was one of the best memories, honestly.
Do you know his favorite Linkin Park song?
I don't know his exact favorite, but I do know that we would do In the End a lot
Oh yeah.
together, and we would like I would try to do the rap part, he would do the sing part because I can't sing that well. um, but yeah, we would do that together, and I also remember another fun memory was driving down this rainy road. Like the rain was coming, we were going pretty fast down this like highway or whatever. It was raining, and I remember listening to this Atreyu song called "When Two Are One," and it was such a good, like such good memories. Honestly, I've known the kid since sixth grade, and and then and it was one of the best friendships. And honestly, like he deserved a lot better
Mm.
than having his life ended short from COVID. So.
Tell me a little bit more about him. Like, what kind of personality did he have?
He was a super funny guy. He'd always have this like distinct laugh. He was like the friendliest guy you would ever meet. Honestly, like he was super smart. His brain was like a calculator almost. Like I remember like we would call him like the human computer or the human calculator. He had like the best grades. He was always in the AP classes in high school. He um he was in school with me from sixth to ninth grade, and then he moved in with his dad, and so he moved away. But we still stayed pretty close. We would have sleepovers and all this stuff. I remember when he went to college, and I remember when one of my exes had broken up with me. He took the time out to invite me over to his dorm room, and we played with Nerf guns and stuff like that, and um we just had a lot of fun, honestly. Just like he was just the sweetest guy, and the fact that he literally only had one girlfriend, and that one girlfriend turned out to be his fiance, and like that's just to me that's just like super special, and what makes it I guess a little more heartbreaking also because of how it had to end like that.
Yeah.
Um, and I still even have I got so in sixth grade we had this beach trip and he had this Ash Ketchum hat. And his nickname was Ash 2045 at least in RuneScape, anyways, like that. And so he lost that Ash hat, and so years later, I bought him a new Ash hat, and he was like the most ecstatic about that. And I even got it signed by one of the voice actors of Brock, and when I
Wow.
promised that I was going to get the rest of the Pokemon voice actors to sign it, and unfortunately I did not finish before he passed, but I got his fiance to give it back to me so I could finish the job for him. Um, so I have it actually, and I'm gonna get it signed by the voice actor of Ash, and whenever Misty shows up to a con, I'll get her too. But
That's that's really awesome that you have that hat. That's super cool.
thank you.
You should try to like digitize it and maybe hang it up in the room that you got behind you somewhere or something. That'd be kind of neat. But um do
Well, I
you
do plan on somehow like getting it like foreverized or whatever like that at some point.
yeah, I think that's a good call. Do you well, so it sounds like you do stay in touch with his fiance?
Not as much as I would like to. I did like message and say, if you ever need to talk or whatever like that, but I feel like, that's something that um is not always followed through with, and I don't want to like bother her, I guess, as much because I don't like because I do see her Facebook posts every now and then of how she misses him and stuff like that, and I almost feel like, sometimes it could be a reminder. Um, you know, Although I did talk to her about one thing though, because his birthday actually is in February, and so I have talked about how on his birthday I would like to get together with all of his friends and her, and just have a day of just remembering him, almost just in a sense immortalizing him. And I do keep in touch with his sister also to make sure that she's doing okay as well. So.
Well, that's good. It sounds like Chris had quite a cool group of people, so much that they would like to remember because I know a lot of people um pass and don't have a group that actively tries to remember them. So that's just credit to Chris's legacy. So I'm sorry your friend passed away, Flareon. By the way, I'm sorry that you
I
lost your friend.
appreciate it.
Um,
And you see, this is also what I mean by the VTuber thing, because like obviously I'm not trying to smile right now. Well, I mean now I'm a little bit, but like the VTuber is just like hey.
yeah, yeah. I was
Mm.
actually noticing that earlier. I was like, I bet you he's not like slightly smiling during this part, but it's yeah,
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 well, I mean it can frown, but it's kind of hard to make it frowned.
right. And also, you don't want it to be uh over dramatically frowning at something so serious, right? Like you just yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like the closest I have is like the crying right now, which you know.
Yeah, then just like you're making a meme out of what what you're talking about.
Yeah,
But
I'm not trying to make it a meme. That's
yeah,
exactly.
yeah. But well,
Yeah,
thank you
exactly.
for being so honest with that question. I really appreciate your honesty. That's a powerful story. I hope the birthday remembrance goes well. You have to tell me about it when it happens.
Will do. Yeah.
Um, that is level 4. That's the halfway point. You have made it halfway through.
Yeah.
Congratulations. We're just short of 50 minutes. You're cruising through this, buddy. How you feeling? Doing all right?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
You sense how I got a little deeper there, right? Yeah, it kind of picks up a little bit.
A
Uh,
little bit, yeah. Did I level up anyway?
yeah, you are now
Do
level
I get a fire
5.
attack yet?
Level 5, still no fire attack, but you
Still a
know,
fire attack. I'm just like a
yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Unfortunately, we're only gonna get you to level 7, so you won't even be like a high enough level to fight the gym leader. You'll have to come through and do another 7 levels to get you to level 14. So,
Okay.
but
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. I mean, this is like a baby Eevee just hatches and you just evolve it right away, and now I'm just here. I'm just like, all right.
brand new to the world, wandering around. But
Yeah, that's pretty much my life here.
well, level 5, Flareon Lad. Streaming comes with a lot of pressure. You have peer pressure, you have social pressure, you have public like pressure, and you have internal pressure like anxiety and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
But so does the real world, and stream often doesn't get to see, like your chat doesn't often get to see exactly the complete amount of pressure that a streamer might be under. So because some things are very private. And other things they might be privy to because it's a public thing. You're open with your chat, and that's fine.
Sure, sure.
But the question is, uh, what do you do to manage the pressure that is on you?
Um, honestly, I don't really handle it that well, to be perfectly honest. Um, my the thing that helps me manage the pressure, honestly, is the lucky fact that I have a significant other who does this with me, and the fact that I'm able to talk things out with her. Like if there's any challenges or anything like that, like I can kind of like talk things through and I can kind of like I could discuss things about the stream, like the excitements, the the ups, the downs, and stuff like that. And honestly, I believe that's honestly really where how I actually manage the pressure, I guess you could say. I do have a lot of fun streaming. It's like one of my greatest joys, honestly. And I don't know. It's just sometimes it gets to be a lot. Sometimes even when like, it like, we want to take a week off streaming, I don't, But on it I don't know. I guess that's honestly the answer, I guess.
Mm, yeah, yeah, I love that. I mean, I would be in a wreck without Lioness Heart, my fiance.
Yeah.
I would absolutely be a wreck, and it also like I mean, she doesn't stream, she doesn't really want to be on camera and stuff like that, but she loves the concept and she loves the community, so she is really good at supporting. Uh, um, So I'm glad you have Umbreon Girl. What would you say either recently or even currently? What's the most amount of pressure you've been under?
Right now actually, honestly. The changeover to VTubing has honestly exploded the community like by a lot. So, I mean, you probably have noticed that my just Twitter alone.
Yeah, I saw you hit
honestly.
your 1,000 mark, and then you had a couple posts that did really well. So
I'm actually right now at 2,300.
really,
It
oh my
yeah,
gosh,
yeah, yeah. My brand is exploding. Um, so yeah, with
congratulations, that's
that,
incredible. Nice job.
th- thank you. But it also comes with a lot of pressure as well because now a lot of people see what I say and stuff like that. And not only that, but sometimes people will like DM me or they'll be like, they'll be like, "Oh, I don't know if you're gonna answer me or not." And I'll be like, "Why would I answer you?" And they're like, "Oh, because you're super popular or something." And I'm like, "Wait, what? Like, no, what? No, I'm just a guy who talks a lot. That's all. That's all I am." You know. Um, no, it does come with a lot of pressure though, also because then in the Discord, new people come up or in the stream, like we have a whole bunch of like every stream, there's at least like a couple new people that will show up or whatever like that, and whether they stay or not is up to them. But there'll always be some like new people or whatever like that, and so like let's say they join the Discord, now all of a sudden, our mods or our regulars are like have to be uh our like we've been streaming for about over 2 years, and then all of a sudden we turn to VTubers, and so the community has just suddenly shifted, and so it's a lot on everyone, not even just me, but like on the mods, on the regular community who is there for like so long. It's just it's a whole different experience, and because a lot of the decisions then fall on me, like there was I'm not going to get into it because this is super personal, but there was like a little thing in our Discord recently, and and we almost lost a mod, which would have been very unfortunate. But luckily things were settled down, and I guess saved, I guess. Um, but like it's just like stuff like that that honestly is just it's a lot of pressure. But I'm at the same time though, I would do this all over again. Honestly, it's like I love this so much. I love the streaming. I love the VTubing. And it's just so much fun doing this that I definitely would do it all over again.
That is pretty incredible. Yeah, I imagine growing pains are gonna be pretty significant with growing as fast as you are, because you know, unfortunately, there are probably people that enjoyed you as a smaller content creator, and unfortunately, I bet I would hate to like say this and find that out ever about myself. So I imagine the same thing. I'm sure you feel the same thing. Is like you're gonna discover the people that actually didn't want you to grow, and that is probably where the big growing pains are gonna be, and because
Exactly. Yeah.
that's not gonna be fun to deal with at all.
Yeah. And it's not even just that. Also, it's like so like as a smaller content creator, you don't want to like the idea of like kicking someone or banning them or whatever like that is like, oh no, you're losing another member of the community that could show up a lot more and help you grow and stuff like that. And it's a mindset. And as we grow and we get more people, that mindset has to change. And that's honestly been one of the harder things because like suddenly if you think that they could be a valuable member of the community, but if they're like being disruptive and they're starting to do some things that others won't agree with, you have to be the guy who has to like basically make that harder decision and just be like, okay, they have to be cut out, kind of deal. And
Mm.
that's honestly really hard for me because I like to be open and call everyone like a family. And so when someone does stuff like that and I have to make that hard decision, it honestly pains me, honestly.
Yeah, I can imagine. Hmm. Well, when you talk about mods and stuff like that, and uh bringing them into into the equation, what do you think you're gonna have to do to like empower your mods to handle situations when you move forward? Like, because also another part of it is like like you're now in a position of leadership too. Like, of this whole time, you are the forefront of this process, but there was a lot of times that you maybe didn't need to like lean on mods. Like it was kind of, if But like, you know, often when a streamer is streaming to like under like 30 people, you don't necessarily need a mod. Like you can kind of handle most stuff, and you can do auto mods that set up for most of the stuff. But like, let's say you end up being able to like progress into like in 2022 progress into partner push under this new VTubing setup that you have.
I don't think we'll make it that far, but that'd be really cool though.
Well, I mean,
Eventually partner. I just don't know if it'll be this year.
yeah, we'll see. But regardless, I'm confident that will come for you. So I'm wondering how you would go about like empowering your team as a leader now, because then once you get that big, you have to view your mods as like team members, you know. So which you probably already do, but if you that means you're like the coach or you're the captain. So
Well, the first thing that we did right now is we actually just made some changes to our rules, um, which we actually discussed as a team and made sure that things were, um, I guess, more written out more correctly and stuff like that. Like some things that we never had to worry about before, we suddenly have to worry about. Like I had one rule previously, like that, like oh NSFW stuff can be hidden or whatever like that, and it was something that I had copy pasted and I didn't even think about it, and then all of a sudden when it started becoming an actual issue, I had to actually put in that there is no NSFW, stuff allowed because it's a family-friendly server, and we do have minors in the server. Uh, so it's stuff like that that's like, we basically put that up, and then I have to basically put my trust, which I do, into the mods to uphold those and represent Umbri and I, uh, as like extra limbs, because there are times that like because of different time zones, stuff like that problems do happen when we either we're asleep or I'm at work or something like that, and I don't really have time to really take care of issues or whatever like that. It's a lot more of a trust and yeah, I guess, making sure that that's honestly the biggest change. It's not that I didn't trust them before, but like now it has to be put into play kind of deal.
yeah. Well, it sounds like you got the right mindset for it, and so it's I think moving forward, you're going to be looking at like you don't want any growth, you want good growth, and so
Absolutely,
like
yeah.
so I think pruning NSFW stuff from your Discord and stuff is a good move for a family friendly thing, so
yeah, that's just one example of many, but yeah, like it was just basically saying how like there are certain rules that were not very clear, and I don't know it, and then I'm like I'll even give an example of like one of the things that happened today is that someone actually kind of like challenged it, almost like they were asking for so sometimes we have like the Pokemon card openings, right? And the Pokemon card openings give out codes, and the codes you can like use in the online game and whatever. And there was someone who was asking for codes, and it's like okay, and then when my mods warned them, we said like please don't ask for codes or whatever like that, and they said oh it's not in the rules. And I said, hey, if you want to kick them, because honestly, that's not okay. First of all, to be asking for handouts. Second of all, to challenging a mod. Third of all, why should we have a rule to be a decent human being?
yeah.
It's it's one of those things that it's a whole different experience from like 2 months ago, honestly, because we've been doing this. We've been streaming as VTubers for about a month now. A month actually from the 28th of December. And we've been in the VTubing community for about 3 months now. So it's a whole different experience.
Yeah. And every VTuber is going to end up doing it differently anyway. Like, so I'm sure there's advice you can gather from them. But also it's your channel. Like I was hanging out in Minimals. I was up way too late last night. So I was hanging out in Minimals chat, and it's like, yeah, that's not family friendly over there. So it's like completely different, but, I think this actually topic leads us really perfectly into the 6th level. So, congratulations, that's level 5. You've made it into the 6th level. But before we talk about the 6th level. I want to talk about our 6th level sub challenge. Hello, YouTube viewer. If you are here right now, if you are still active in this video, I really appreciate you. And I thank you so much for watching this. I don't know how you would have been able to turn away anyway. So far, our conversation has been awesome and riveting. So, to all the people that clicked away, that's too bad. But if you are still here, if you are the first person to go to FlareonLad Twitch, which is the Eevee Duo. Wait, is it the Eevee Duo or just Eevee Duo?
Yeah, it's the Eevee Duo.
The Eevee Duo, which I will have posted right below the video in the YouTube, so or in the description, so you can get it there. If you're the first person to go to their chat and say, I made it to level 6. Let's say specifically when Flareon streaming, because Umbreon Girl might not know about this, so that's fine. When Flareon is streaming on their channel, say I made it to level 6. Flareon will DM me your name in Twitch, and I will gift you a sub to Flareon's channel. If you are already a sub to Flareon's channel, you should do it anyways, because then I will just gift a sub in your honor to the Eevee Duo channel. So it's a win-win for everyone. Yep. Catch them. I said so. This is going live on Wednesday. When's your next stream? Wednesday night? Is that what you said, or did you say your Thursday?
My specific stream is Wednesday night, but Umbreon streams Tuesdays and Thursdays as well.
Okay, so Wednesday night, this will go live Wednesday day. Wednesday night, you can hop in and get a free sub to Flareon channel. So please do that. But without further ado, let's get back to it. Level 6, Flareon Lad, are you ready?
I am ready.
We were just talking about, you know, VTubers and chat interaction and building a community. I have a lingering thought that I've had from all the couple of YouTube videos that I watched researching before this interview and before Minimal's interview, that I'm really curious to see how different people are going to react to this, and specifically from the VTubing community.
I'm so sorry. Can you repeat that last question? I'm so sorry. I got distracted.
Okay. I actually didn't ask you yet. I was just like word vomiting, setting up the question.
Got it.
Yeah, you're fine.
So I thought there was a question there. I was like, oh no, I didn't hear.
No, remember, if I'm pausing, it's because I'm trying not to say as much. But
Gotcha.
Which I just said it again. But okay. It seems to me that VTubing is a healthy way to create, not necessarily anonymity, but I know some people use it to create anonymity. Like, you will not know anything publicly about them. There is like, I would call it like a spectrum of VTubing, to where like there are some people that are literally only the character, and you will not get any other bit of information off of them at all. And then there's more of the people I've met, like you and Minimal, who are open about like, yes, I am a human behind here. Yes, this is the character that I'm choosing to represent myself in this manner today. But they embody my personality, like I am them. Like it's a different thing. That spectrum is gonna go everywhere, right? Like everyone's gonna have a different way to describe how they feel about like their VTuber, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah. That makes sense.
I think the weird thing that I'm noticing is the way certain chatters, not every chatter, refuses to drop or the
show face thing.
No. Oh, that's also kind of, we could talk about that. Maybe we'll talk about that here in a second, because that's actually really curious too. Sorry, it's so hard to figure out the best way to ask this. I've noticed in certain chats, people will almost be VTubing as a chatter. Like they'll come in and say like, you know, purrs lightly, curls up, sits down next to you. Like as like a, you know.
Like RPing. I've actually never had that happen to me yet.
You haven't had that happen? Okay.
I've had people do that in like Discord or something like that, but I've never had that happen in my stream chat yet.
Wow, I'm not even a VTuber, and I've had to have an. I like did not know what to do about it, but essentially, I'm glad
It's like
you uh,
pokes with stick.
shoes away. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
but my question about it is, uh, where do you think like the unhealthy line is of people getting attached to your VTuber instead of you?
I think it's in the same sense. Well, okay, so I get what you're saying. I've actually had a friend who went from webcammer to VTuber, and then they stopped doing that particular VTuber. They continued to do like PNG, whatever, or like the images that will light up and stuff like that. um Afterwards, because they were getting kind of upset how people were like calling them like hot and sexy and stuff like that, and they personally themselves didn't feel like it was them because they weren't being called that beforehand. So it bugged them, and that's actually understandable. um i I haven't really had much experience enough with people who actually do that. I do see sometimes, um lately, I guess because it's more easily seen that like Umbri will sometimes get some people who come in and they'll be a little weird about that. But usually if they don't stop or we'll tell them to stop, they'll be muted for a certain amount of time or whatever like that. Um, and if they do stop, then that's just how it is. Like I don't mind some RPing, that's fine, but like, and I don't really mind like, people like thinking that my model it looks, beautiful because like I'm glad because that's the thing I designed. Like yes, my mom minimal, which I guess I'll explain it if you're curious about what I'm talking about there. Did design a gorgeous gorgeous model, and I do understand that, but it was from what I had explained and stuff like that, and I had tried to, we went back and forth before until I came up with a design that I like. So in a sense of them really liking the model, it means that they really like my idea and my design and the thing that I had thought up of. Obviously my mom brought it to life, um,
Yeah. So what do
but
you
yeah.
mean by that? By calling minimal and Katur tier? I don't know how to say their name.
So Catateer is the name of her channel, but her actual name is, at least her VTuber name is Kochi.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's kind of like how the EV duo has FlareonLad and Umbreon Girl. It's just it's the channel name and the name itself.
Got
But
it. Got it.
yeah, so Mama Kochi and Mama Min, I call them that because as a VTuber in the VTuber culture, when an artist creates you or an artist brings you to life, they're like your mom. They're the thing that they're your parent. I mean, like if it's a male, it could be a papa, but like this is in the culture we call the artist and the rigger. So even if like say somebody, like say I go to somebody else to create a new version of this or whatever like that, they'll never be the actual mama because the one who originally created and turned it to life was minimal. So
Hmm.
that's so they might be like a stepmom or something like that, or
Yeah. Yeah.
in my mind, I don't know if anyone calls them that. I call them that, um, but as far as actual like, I will always forevermore call them Mama Kochi and Mama Min because they're the ones who brought me and Umbri to life. And don't think too hard about that because that makes it weird.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
well, let's go back to the thing you mentioned about the show face peer pressure or chat pressure. Why do you think people fixate on knowing the person behind the VTuber?
I I honestly don't know. I think it's just because they wanna. I guess it's. I don't know. I feel like it might be have to do with the fact that they kind of want to make sure that oh, this is a really cute character, but what do they really look like? Or it's kind of curiosity. Um. So like when how like some people say like a less revealing bathing suit can be more attractive than a
Oh,
full. or someone completely naked
Yeah.
kind of deal. So it's like that whole sense of curiosity that is very attractive to, I guess, the viewer. And it's just like, oh, we kind of know what you sound like, and we have an idea of your personality, but it's kind of attractive to the idea, the thought behind of, what do they actually look like behind it all,
Is there any
Um,
bit of sexism behind it? Like, do you think, like, does Umbreon Girl get it more than you?
well, with us, it's kind of a weird thing because we were face cam streamers for a while. So we haven't had, and we've only been doing this for a month now. So in our intro, we still actually have like some video of us, before we were VTubers, because we haven't, completely like, we're not erasing that part of our life, you know. So it's very easy to see what we look like beforehand, and I don't think anyone really bugs us because of that. But as far as I guess I would say that if you were talking about our more female, VTubers getting that more than males, probably. But is it also because there are a lot more female VTubers than there are males? It could be as well. So
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask you about that. Like, you seem like a pretty rare category of male VTubing as a male. Um, how do you
yeah,
how do you feel about that?
it's challenging, but honestly, if I learned anything, there are very successful male VTubers out there. If you're gonna ask me to name any, I'm not gonna be able to name any, but I know there are. um, it's a little more challenging because I don't have the booba, as a lot of female VTubers might have, or I'll admit, I mean, like, what the way I put it is not like that they're more popular because of the booba. How I put it is that the world bases a lot of, they judge a book by its cover, and they come in because the book looks interesting, and then they'll stay for the actual contents of the book. So, um, the beginning part is, does this VTuber look interesting? Well, I mean, I'll admit that a lot more viewers are, probably attracted more to the female VTuber models, and so they'll come in more for that, and then once they find that they're really interesting, they'll stay. In my case, I try to look interesting. Like, I had these fire ears and stuff like that, and I got usually sometimes the big Flareon blanket, or I'll have like that super loud personality, and then I feel like I have a very fun personality, and not to toot my own horn, um,
You really do.
that I feel like keeps them, and thank you, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, but keeps them staying.
Hmm. Well,
So it's a challenge. It definitely is a challenge, but I think I'm doing pretty well for what I'm doing.
yeah, no, yeah, you're like I said, everything looks great. Yeah, I think you are doing really cool, and yeah, Minimal did some great art through your instruction, and I really hope that in the future,
Absolutely.
I really hope that in the future, obviously, the more you grow, the more trolls you're gonna get, and so I just hope that between leading your mods and keeping that teamwork up, that you and Umbreon Girl are really gonna crush this VTubing thing. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see where you two go from here. Um,
Thank you.
that is level 6. Can you believe we're on the last question? We are on the level 7.
Whew.
Level 7. For that, I'll just I'll give you a flamethrower. Okay, you've been great. Somehow you found flamethrower TM on the ground. You didn't learn it of your own fruition. I'm giving it to you. So there you go.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I appreciate the flamethrower.
Yeah, the first gym's grass, so you'll be fine. You'll be good to go.
Cool, 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 cool.
But okay, level 7. Last question, Flareon Lad. This is the reoccurring question of 7 levels for season 1. Everyone else has answered this, and it's a good question. People have been able to take it kind of lightly. People have been able to take it a little bit heavier. It's really flexible. You can go the way you want it. Your question is, what is a change in the world that you would like to see, but you're not sure that you can implement?
It's change in the world that I wish I could see, but I cannot implement, or I'm not sure I can implement.
Yes.
Mm. This is probably gonna touch on a touchy subject here. I think that the world honestly has gotten um very easily offended by things, I guess. Um, I mean, I could say the thing that everyone wants to, like, would like to hear or whatever like that, and I can say, oh yeah, I'd like to solve, like no more racism or world hunger or stuff like that. But I'm just gonna go, and yes, I would love all that, but I'm gonna go a little off topic that because I think it'll be more interesting, honestly.
Okay.
Um, so I think that there's like stuff like cancel culture out there. There's stuff like people who get like super offended over some of the smallest things, and they're honestly like things that even come up like from years and years ago, and they like kind of like dig into it, and then they're like, oh, look at this person now. I It's just kind of funny to me because like growing up in the 90s and stuff like that, and if you've seen some of the television shows and some of the jokes that they made and stuff like that, um, it just it would never fly in this day and age, and that's just kind of funny to me. Like, why did that whole thing change? Why did we become that way? And I understand in a sense, like yeah, it's trying to become a little more of a, uh, I guess, more mature community, I guess, instead of some of the funny jokes. But like, I don't think that, like, I think people need to like kind of like enjoy. I guess what I'm trying to say is I want people to enjoy life more. I feel like people are too hung up on certain things that aren't as offensive as they really should, as people take them. I'm not saying that like, some jokes, like some sexism jokes or whatever are okay. That's not okay. But what I'm saying is that like there are just some things that I feel like do kind of uh go past that, shouldn't be as offensive because they weren't once upon a time. I don't know if I'm making sense here.
Yeah, no, no, I understand exactly what you're saying. In like, there's a very insensitive way to say it, which would be like, yo, you're all a bunch of sissies these days. But that's not what you're saying necessarily. You're saying more of like, um, you wish as a culture people would stop looking to be offended and rather just
Yeah,
kind of like
yeah,
go,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, exactly. I feel like people are like, because like the cancel culture, they're actually like it almost seems like they're looking for things to cancel to be offended by, and they almost feel like that's exactly what they're. I feel like people need to relax, enjoy life a little more. That I guess that's what I'm kind of getting at. I think you summed it up actually pretty well there.
yeah. I think that is a great answer. Because I agree. I think something happened within, I don't know, maybe like the last 5 years where there's just like a whole lot more of shaming, like public shaming and things like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then the canceling, because I kind of see it sometimes. I see it in our little Pokemon group too, like just like how quick people will get blocked, people will get shut down, people will get canceled, as you say. And like when that happens, there's just I hate it because there's no room for growth. Like a person has
Yeah.
to like you're expecting someone to start over in a different community and do it better instead of like have any bit of grace or redemption. And like those things are pretty important to me. I understand like not everyone might not view the same. So I'm glad to hear you say that as well, because it's like, yeah, I just think people don't get people won't
Yeah.
won't let people learn maybe almost. And like you said, it's just like they're looking to they look for the things, and when you look for the bad things, you're gonna find the bad things. Simple as that. You know what I mean? But
Exactly. It also kind of ties into one of my fears as a VTuber, and like I think I said this in near the beginning of the interview, that I am growing rather rapid, which means that and as much as I don't want to admit it, that I will have a little more influence over what I say,
mhm.
and I the one of the fears I had with growing is that I know that sometimes like I can be misinterpreted by what I say. Not that anyone's been offended by anything I've said. It's just that I have this bad feeling that like one day someone's gonna like throw a monkey wrench into misinterpreting something that I've said, and then it's gonna look bad, and then people are gonna be influenced by that, and I don't want that to happen. That's one of my biggest fears, honestly.
Well, FlareonLad, you have proven to me today that you are a good dude.
Well,
Congratulations.
I appreciate that.
That's level 7. You did it. We're done.
Woo!
Um, I had a great conversation with you, man. So I know growth is I understand how growth is scary when you think about those things, but you just keep doing you, man, and you're gonna do great. You're gonna do great things, and because I know the community that is actually truly with you along the way. They if even if you do end up slipping up and saying something, they're gonna have grace for you, and they'll forgive you and let you grow in that. And then you will. So. Um,
I appreciate that, and it's been a lot of fun talking to you too.
Yeah, thanks, man. Like I said, I just love these interviews so much. I always end up learning a lot about people, and that's my goal, really. I just want to learn about people.
That's
Um,
really nice.
so here we are at the end of the interview. I always usually dedicate this time for people to talk about if they have any community events coming up or what are things they're really excited for in their channels coming up. What do you and Umbreon Girl got coming up for your communities? Anything cool?
Uh, Umbri kind of plays things by ear, so I don't know if you have any events coming up. They're asking if you have any events coming up. But as for me, I just got done my first ever collab, Vtuber collab, I should say. I've collabed plenty of times with like Vitamin and Saltaxian and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But my first ever Vtuber collab was just on New Year's with a pretty well-known, or at least a very fast-growing VTuber named Alara. And then this upcoming Friday actually is going to be my second ever collab. It's going to be an art collab. Well, again, second ever VTuber collab. It's going to be an art collab, and we're going to be playing a game where basically we got to draw Pokemon from memory. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And then there'll be times that we'll like swap canvases and stuff like that, and we'll try to finish each other's drawings. And it's just a lot of fun coming up.
That sounds really fun.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so that collab will be with VTuber named Dragon Spit, and that's Dragon Spit with an underscore, just in case you want to put that down.
Okay.
But yeah, yeah. No, I'm looking forward to a lot of different collabs coming up and events coming up. I don't really know too much just yet. I do know that there will be, if not this month, then next month there'll be something with Mama Min and even probably Mama Kochi, and we might even get Umbreon on it also.
That'd
A
be
possibility of a
so cool.
huge little double, triple collab, whatever you want to call it.
Well, awesome. Here we are. That's it, everybody. All we have left is saying bye to the YouTube. So, FlareonLad can't wave, so I'll wave for the both of us. But
Thank you.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.